Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Hino with Mr. Hino's LEGO Robotics. Today's video, I'm going to give you some food for thought for those of you that are doing replay, mission number 6, the pull-up bar. So if you want to see that, stay with me. And after watching this video, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Come on, I know you can do it. So no, I have not bought my mat and models yet. I'm still kind of feeling out the season here and watching the news every day, seeing if we're any closer to getting back into the classroom, because I just cannot commit to purchasing the mat and models if I cannot guarantee that we're going to be able to get back into school to practice or have some idea of when our season's going to be. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of give you a mock version of the pull-up bar. I want to thank Steve for giving me pictures that I'm going to show you about it, just so that when I do this mission, you can actually know that it's close to the actual model. Now, I'm in no way trying to give, ideas, but I just want some of you that think that this mission is too hard, just some ideas, some food for thought on a possibility of getting your robot to hang on that bar. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mission and then take a look at some possible ideas for your robot. Okay, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the pull-up bar or mission number 6 for this year's replay, first LEGO League Robot Game, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So the pull-up bar, the robot passes completely under the bar at any time, and then separately it is held off the mat by the bar at the end of the match. If the robot passes completely through, so you can read through that and just know that the robot has to completely pass through the bar, through the pull-up bar's upright frame at any time, that's a 15 point max. If the pull-up bar holds 100% of the robot off the mat at the end of the match, 30 points. So, if you can do the math, that's a 45-point mission if you do both. And let's take a look down at the bottom. A pass-through can score northward or southward, but only one way and only one time. So a pass-through scores at the time it happens. They're basically saying at the end here, you cannot do the pull-up bar and the dancing, mission number 7. You can't do the dancing robot at the same time because both of them have to be completed at the end of the match. So that's a strategy that you and your team will have to talk through. Do we do the bar last or do we do the dancing last? The pull-up bar is more points, but it will just involve more, a strategy on your robot as far as what do you build and does it flow with all of your other missions. So now that we know the rules about it, and for some of you, if you're thoroughly like, how in the world am I supposed to get this robot off? Let's go through some possible engineering ideas for this, and then we'll go ahead and watch it in action. I want to thank Steve for this picture, so you can see how he put his ruler horizontal and vertical to show that the pull-up bar is 9 inches off the table and 9 inches wide. So I basically, when I created my pull-up bar, I tried to follow those specs. My pull-up bar is not going to be as high, but that's actually good because, if my pull-up bar is lower, and if I can go through it, then I know it would go through a regulation pull-up bar. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the design of a robot to possibly pull off this pull-up. Okay, everybody, here's my makeshift pull-up bar. I'm going to go ahead and just compare this to Steve's photos. This pull-up bar is actually only 8 inches wide. So it's actually good that mine's shorter, because that way if my robot fits through this, I know it'll fit through the regulation pull-up bar. And if we're going to the very top of this bar, it's not even going to the 9-inch mark. So again, that's good news for me that if my robot goes underneath this, I know it'll go underneath a regulation bar. And it's also good that if the regulation bar is higher, then I have more clearance to pull my robot up on. So this bar, I know it's not the regulation bar, but as far as if it's just a practice one, this is actually a good chin-up bar or pull-up bar to practice on. So as a first LEGO League team member, you try not to overthink things. My robotics students, a lot of times when they're given some type of task, they'll overthink it, they'll overcomplicate it, and a lot of times the solution is not as complicated as you thought. So when you're thinking about this pull-up bar, you definitely want to think about a pull-up. I mean, you're going to try not to reinvent the wheel here and try to get too complicated. You're just trying to think, okay, to do a real pull-up, you're exerting force to pull up yourself. In this case here, we're looking for something to pull up the robot. And so the first thing I can think of is, when you're doing this pull-up, you're looking at this kind of curled position here. So the first thing that pops into my mind are those curved white beams, where you can use that with a motor or motors to use that to pull, the robot up. So, if you're looking at your first LEGO League rules, you know that you're given a max of 4 motors. So you definitely have your 2 large motors to get your robot moving to and from the mission. But then you can also add 2 other motors to get, to pull up that robot. You're correct. If you're using a medium motor for some other type of attachments, that's when you'd have to bypass that motor. And, so this mission does become a little bit complicated as far as if you're using that medium motor. Now you might have to unplug it, because you're going to need at least 1 other motor to try to do this pull up. It might involve 2 actually, but let's go ahead and take a look at the robot. So here is my Educator ++ robot. If you guys missed Monday's video, this is a really cool robot. I'll leave you a link at the end of this video or in the description to the video about the Educator ++ robot. But since it was already built, I thought, well, why not give it a shot with this robot here? So again, those curved white beams, this is what I'm thinking about as far as arms. I mean, if you're looking at a piece in the kit that looks just like our arms would be doing a pull-up, this is just the first thing that came to my mind. And again, if you have a medium motor like I had, basically I had to unplug it to be able to get these 2 large motors on. And so now I'm just thinking about leverage and being able to use the power from these motors to pull this robot up. And this is a fabulous robot to do that with, just because it is so light. I mean, it's just bare bones pieces. There's not a lot of things to weigh this down. And so what we're going to try to do is to get this robot to go first, just to go onto the bar and see if we can get pulled up. But I definitely want to try that 45-point combination of going underneath the bar and then trying to get this guy to do the pull-up. So let's first just take a look and see if this robot can pull itself up just driving up to the bar. Okay, I don't have my mat and models yet, so that's why this pull-up bar looks way different than the one that's in the set. But I think you guys get the concept. So let's check this out. I put a 5-second delay on the program. And that is off the ground. Hey, that's a pretty strong robot right there. So that is the Educator ++ that you saw at the beginning of the week. And that's what I meant by it's so light that it's able to do this pull-up bar mission. now that we know that this robot can pull itself up onto the bar, let's go ahead and see now if we can combine everything together with the robot going underneath the bar. And then what I have, the plan is for it to just back up and then do the pull up onto the bar. So let's hope for 45 points. Okay, there's the 15 points. Nice. There is the 30 points. There is the 45-point pull-up bar. 6 mission right there. That is 100% of the robot's weight. Okay guys, so there you have it. The robot for mission number 6, the pull-up bar. I definitely don't want to be accused of giving away secrets here because, to be honest, I'm not the first video on YouTube to show how to do that pull-up. It's just a way for teams to be encouraged that it can happen. There's so many, though, variables that are involved in this as far as does this particular setup, does it go with what your robot's doing for the rest of the missions? I mean, to be honest with you, this setup is permanent on this robot. It would be hard for me. I mean, I can put that medium motor attachment in the front, but it's not like I can attach or detach these large motors very easily. And plus, as far as what you do for your missions, some of you might decide, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do the robot dance for 5 less points. And that's fine too. So it's just a matter of you and your team deciding what do you want to do, for your 2.5 minutes. And especially with your robot, some things work for teams and some other things don't. So it's just a matter of taking a look at your list of your missions and deciding, hey, we really want to do that pull-up bar last because, we can drive underneath it and just hang there at the end of the match. And that's fine because, you're looking for those points, and especially if you want to get those 5 extra for the pull-up bar. But again, you're using up those other motors. So it's going to be interesting to see if, I could possibly use one of those large motors, but that might be a different video. Okay, guys, so good luck to your teams if you're, heavily getting into replay. Good luck to you if your teams are trying to meet virtually, because I know that's the reason why I haven't bought the mat models yet. It's just a tough situation, and it's just one of those things where that's the interesting thing about day to day is you just never know how things are going to be from one day to the next. But we're going to hang on, we're going to do our best, and we got this, right? Okay, guys, I'm Mr. Hino from Educator Robotics. I'm out.
He's out.
He's out.
We got this.
We got this.
We got this, guys.
Hey guys, Mr. Hino here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you love robotics, don't forget to check out these videos also because they're cool. Okay guys, take care.